In the Business Edge today, tips from a top executive on creating a welcoming company culture. David Rodriguez, Marriott's Global Chief HR Officer, who was named the 2019 HR Executive of the Year, is here. Congratulations, David. You believe there is a difference between motivating and inspiring employees and that it matters. Tell us about this.
You know, it turns out it matters a great deal. It comes from thinking about, I think, one of the hottest topics around today, you know, the nature of the employer-employee relationship. And I think a fundamental question, you know, is the workplace, is the job just an intrusion into our lives? Or is it an integral and beneficial part of people's lives? And it turns out that how you manage the company, the employee experience that you create, either can be motivating or inspiring. And I think there's a big difference between the two.
Company culture is a hot topic in business. What are your thoughts?
Culture is a huge topic. And again, that gets right at the heart of the employee experience. And, you know, if you think about motivation, it's essentially about everything outside ourselves, right? It's someone trying to get us to perform and act a certain way. It's from outside of us. And typically that is framed by some economic exchange. And the problem with that is, of course, when the financial incentive is no longer available, typically the performance is going to cease. Inspiration's different because it's about evoking passion inside of people. You know, and a question to ask is, would you keep doing something even if you weren't being paid, right? So an inspiring work experience is about meeting fundamental human needs that we have and that drive people to passionately look to perform their jobs in exemplary ways.
For business owners watching, you say to tap into 3 key sources to get that authentic inspiration, starting with opportunity.
Well, it turns out there are decades of research behind this. We've at Marriott summarized it in terms of 3 categories, again, representing universal needs that every person has across the world. The first being opportunity. Everyone wants the opportunity to live a happy life and to grow to an even better life over time. And organizations that do a good job of tapping into that tend to generate a higher sense of engagement and loyalty among their employees.
What's the importance of community?
Community is about the relationships that surround us on a day in, day out basis. And, you know, science tells us that the quality of relationships in our lives has a great bearing on our overall well-being. Companies that are better at creating communities inside their offices that are energizing to people, that are constructive, those environments, those companies tend to be more innovative, tend to be higher performing.
And you say the third inspiration is purpose.
People want to feel that the footsteps they're leaving behind on this earth have been meaningful. And companies that tap into those motivations are going to have a more energized and productive workforce. For instance, millennials, well known, a lot of research that tells us that they are very interested in working for companies that are responsible stewards, who care about the environment. So again, a company that does a great job of tapping into those motivations is going to have a much more loyal and much more focused workforce.
Before you take off, how much does all of this matter to the bottom line of a business?
This is the important thing. This is not just good for the individual, it is good for the company. For instance, Gallup tells us that in their research, companies that are better at producing these environments tend to have over 20% more profit. The Great Place to Work Institute tells us that companies that create these environments tend to grow their revenues 3 times faster. So again, this is not just a good thing to do. This is a very smart way to run an organization.
Thank you, David. We look forward to having you back for more business tips.
My pleasure to join you, Angie.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.